So here we are, we're back. How do we put this all together? How do we decide who gets to name what trumps are? How do we decide how many tricks we want to commit to? If we want to go for that big bonus or stay low inside, we're all pulling it all together right now. Here we go. Your level of contract, how high you're willing to bid, how many tricks you're committing to win, is usually decided by your strength. How many of those strong cards my partnership does our partnership hold? How many of those aces, kings, queens, and jacks? And how can I tell a partner about my strength? Remember, in bridge, we have bidding, and we have to have a language to convey how strong our hand is. I can't say, oh, I've got 4 aces and 2 kings or something like that. So how can we do that? Well, in 1915, a gentleman named McCampbell came up with a way to tell their partner about the strength of their hand, how many of those aces, kings, queens, jacks they held. And what he did was he uh, awarded a high card point value to each of the honor cards in the hand based on its likelihood of if it could win a trick. So, what is the most likely card to win a trick? An ace, right? So, for every ace, he said you can have 4 points, every king, 3, every queen, 2, and every jack is 1. Ace is 4, king is 3, queen is 2, jack is 1, and we're going to practice that. You should have a board on your table, board 9. What I want you to do is open your hand up. Each of you, I want you to count the number of high card points in your hand, announce it at the table. Someone's going to write those numbers in the book and add them up and see how many high card points you get. Think about how many high card points there should be in that one hand, in hand 9, and see if you come out with the right amount. And after you finish that, on hand 2, put those cards back, the cards for board 9 back in the board, and pull out the cards for hand 10 and do that one. And come back and we'll talk about it. Here we go. On hand 9, I thought North had 11, and East had 4, and South had 15, and West had 10. Is that what you got? And did you add it all together? On number 10, North had 10, East had 11, South 10, and West 9. Did you add those numbers together? Did you get 40? There are 40 high card points in every hand of bridge. That's going to be important in just a minute. So remember that. 40 high card points in a hand of bridge. So here's what we have decided. What we found out over the years, that if you and your partner have around 25 or 26 high card points between your 2 hands and 8 or more hearts or spades, that you should be able to bid to that high level, that game level, and you should be successful in winning 10 tricks. No trump. You need about 25 or 26 high card points between your 2 hands. You should be able, if you have that, to be able to bid to the 3 no trump level and win 9 tricks. But if you choose a minor now, you need around 28 or 29. Why is it higher for a minor suit? Why do we need 28 or 29 for minors? More tricks, right? We have to take one more trick. We have to take 11, not just 9 or 10. That's worked pretty good for like 100 years on, a little bit over 100 years. Remember, he invented this in 1915. It's not always true. I mean, we found some things that make our hand better, right? When we talked about playing with the trump contract, we pointed out that more trumps helped us win tricks. And we also pointed out is if you had a singleton, only one card in some suit, or a void, that could help you win additional tricks. So there's things that can influence whether it's actually, that 25 or 26 is, hard, fast rule. There's things that can make that go one way or the other. Shortnesses, extra trumps. playing a no trump along suit, or a lot of eights and nines and tens, those medium cards. And actually, they're good no matter where you play. That can help you, but this is a pretty good rule of thumb, especially when you first start. So the kind of the idea behind it, if you have 25 or 26 and you have 8 hearts or spades, you can probably bid game to the 4 level, commit to win 10 tricks, and you'll probably be able to do it. If you don't have that many high card points, maybe not. So that's what you're looking for. We want to find the fit, and we want to find out how much strength we have. So we're going to practice that. What I want you to do is to go to the next pages. I want you as a table. I want to find out several things. I want to find out where you think you should be playing, majors, no trump, or minors. And I want to know what you think about how many tricks you might commit to. Remember, in a major, you'd have to commit to the 4 level to take 10 tricks to get the big bonus. In a minor, you'd have to commit to 11. And no trump, you'd have to commit to 9. Anything less than that is considered that little part score, and you only get a 50-point bonus. So give it a look, see what you think, and then we'll talk about it. Here's the first one, number 9. So where did you want to play? What did you think was a good spot to play in? Majors, no trump, or minors? If you picked spades, you've got 8 spades between your 2 hands. That seems pretty good. Now, how high are you willing to commit? Well, North has 11 high card points. South has 15. So we have 26 high card points between our 2 hands. What do y'all think? Yes, I would be willing to commit to a major game. If I stayed in a part score, I would probably win 10 tricks, which means I would be 4 tricks over those first 6. So I get 30 points for each trick. I'd score 120 points. My bonus would only be 50 because I stayed low, right? So I'd get 170. But if I say, oh, well, I've got those 25 or 26 points, I've got 8 spades, I'm going to go for game. I'm going to try and get that big bonus. Your trick score doesn't change. You still get 30 points for every trick you win over those first 6. That's 120. But now, your bonus, 300, 420 points. See what a difference that makes? But it's a risk. You don't win 10 tricks, you get 0. Or if you bid too high, they get points. Right? Number 10. What did you think about this one? Did you pick clubs? I think that's probably safest. And West, you had 11 high card points. East, you had 9. So that gave us 20. Is that enough to risk going to the game level? Oh, no. We're going to stay low and safe. Now, if we stayed at no trump, we might have won 8 tricks. We'd get 70 points, 50-point bonus, 120. But no trump's not very safe when we don't have good spades, is it? So let's say we said we're going to stay in part score and clubs. And we won 9 tricks. That's probably what you would win on this hand. You don't know how to know that, but I do because I'm an experienced bridge player, but you'd probably win 9. So 3 times 20 would only be 60 points there, and your bonus is 50, 110. So you would win more tricks, but your score would still be less because you were in a minor instead of no trump. Number 11. What about this one? Well, I picked no trump. You might have picked diamonds. Let's see. We have 12 high card points in North. South only has 9. So regardless of which suit or no trump, if you pick diamonds or no trump, you're still not going to try for the game bonus. You're going to stay low, right? Well, let's see how that does. If you play a part score in diamonds, you're probably going to win 8 tricks. So you get 40 points for your trick score. Bonus is 50, you're going to get 9. You play no trump, and let's say you take the same 8 tricks. 40 points for the first one, 30 points for the second. That's 70. Bonus is 50, 120. Well, that's 30 points. That's not just measly 10, that's 30. So as I said, experienced rich players would probably choose no trump because we think that's a significant amount. If you chose diamonds, not a big deal. Staying safe is sometimes a good thing. If you bid game, you took a risk and you went down, you get nothing. The defenders get 50. And our last one. I hope you picked hearts. That's what I would choose. I have 8 of them. It's a major. East has 11. West has 11. We have 22 between our two hands. It's not enough for game, is it? I do have that singleton. I like that. I do have that really good club suit. Ooh, am I close enough to risk game? I don't know. What do y'all think? If you stay at card score in hearts and you only won 8 tricks, you're going to get 110. If you played game and you were able to make it, which might depend on what they lead or how the hearts are distributed between your opponent's hands, it's your bonus. 420 is kind of hard to decide sometimes. This is probably going to depend on how the hearts are divided between your opponent's hands. Percentages tell us it's going to be 3 and 2, but we're not sure. If you risk going to game and you go down 1, you get nothing and the opponents get 50. So it's always that risk game and trying to decide if you're close enough to take that risk to commit to a higher level. All right. We're going to learn Minibridge. This is a way that you can play, and you can play this for a long time. You can go home and teach it to your family and your friends, and they can play with you. It's really easy. Here we go. It's bridge without the bidding. So what happens is we deal the cards. We proceed clockwise, and each player is going to announce their high card points. So you're going to count your high card points and announce how many points you have. The partnership that has the most high card points between their two hands becomes the declaring side. The partnership with the least high card points is the defending side. If the high card points are equal on both sides, then it's a redeal. You steal them again. The declarer is the player on the declaring team with the most high card points, or if they're equal, the player who first announced their points. So we're the declaring side. I have 12, you have 11. I'm going to be the declarer. I'm going to be the one playing the hand. My partner is going to put their hand face up on the table in front of himself. This is called dummy. And I, as the declarer, I get to look at both hands. And excuse me, as declarer, I get to look at both hands and decide which suit I would like to be trumps, or if I would like to play a no trump. Then I get to decide how many tricks I'm going to commit to win. Remember, if I'm going to commit for the game level, it's 6 plus the number I bid. Same for if I stay low and safe. It has to be at least 7. Okay? You cannot commit for less than 7. 6 plus 1. If you have really good hands and you think you might get the game bonus, remember our game levels: 4 in a major, 3 in no trump, 5 in a minor. The defender, 2 declares left, leads the first card, and declarer is going to tell dummy which cards to play, and it's their turn. Partner, make sure you keep the cards as directed and make sure they get in the right order, because he's going to be thinking about the hand, right? When all the cards have been played, the tricks one by each side are counted. The declaring team wins when they take the target, the number of tricks they promised they would take. Remember, you don't get any points for those first 6. That's booked. It's only the additional trick, and it's based on the type of contract. Okay. Bonuses. You had a part score. That was anything less than that game level. You can add 50 points as your bonus. If you went to game, you can add 300. Put your score down, and one player from the declaring side is going to go to the board and write their score on board 1 in the correct column and row. All right? If you lose, the declarers get 50 points for each trick they set you, for each trick you were short, and they're going to go and write their score. Let's go. Have fun. Um, this is a great way to get started, get you the strategy and the points, and you're going to have a good time with it. So have at it.